Okay, Assalamualaikum and selamat sejahtera. So now let's look at the subtopic 4.1 first. So for subtopic 4.1, it is about Mendelian genetics, okay, monohybrid and dihybrid. So first of all, we look at the terminologies first. Okay, what are the terms that will be used in this chapter? Okay, first of all, you look at the first one. The first one are genes. Okay, so what is genes? So right here, you can see genes refers to the discrete unit of heredity information consisting of specific nucleotide sequence in DNA. So means that genes will be located, okay, in the DNA, which is it will consist of specific nucleotides sequence. And then genes can be passed from parent to offspring. So kalau kita tengok dekat sini for the example here, okay, kalau kita tengok based on this diagram, so this is the chromosome, okay, means that both of this actually it is a pair of homologous chromosome. Okay, so right here is the locus. So locus di sini dia akan represent the locus for flower color genes. So ni sebenarnya kita refer kepada dia punya genes lah, and then these genes can be controlled either by dominant allele or recessive allele. Okay. And then, if you look at the genes, it can be passed from parent to the offspring. Okay, so kita tengok pula apa kaitannya dengan allele. So, what is allele? So, allele is the alternative version of genes that may produce distinguishable phenotypic effect. And then, it is located on specific position on specific chromosome. So, the specific position here actually refers to the locus. So, macam yang saya katakan tadi, so let's say this is a pair of homologous chromosome. So if you look at here, at the specific locus here, it will contain the genes for the flower color. So kalau kita ikutkan based on the Mendel's experiment, there are two types of the color of the flower. Either the color is purple ataupun white. So purple ni actually dia adalah dominant phenotype, while white ni adalah recessive phenotype. Okay, so if you look at the locus here, okay, for the first chromosome, here it has capital P, allele. So capital P maksudnya kalau P tu adalah huruf besar, so it will represent dominant allele for purple flower. And then the second chromosome here, it has small p. So small p here, it represent recessive allele for white flower. Okay, so that's why if you look at the alleles, okay, so kita boleh tengok dekat sini, we can divide into two, either the alleles are dominant allele or recessive allele. So how to differentiate? So untuk dominant allele, it is the allele that is fully expressed in phenotype of heterozygous. Okay, so kalau kita tengok dekat sini, for the example, okay, so the capital P here, okay, P besar, is dominant allele for purple color. So if genotype of flower color is, okay, capital P ataupun P besar. Another one adalah P besar P kecil. So P besar ni kita panggil sebagai homozygous dominant. While the other one, P besar P kecil ni adalah heterozygous. So since kalau kita tengok dari segi dia punya definition, okay, dominant allele is the allele that is fully expressed in phenotype of heterozygous. Maksudnya dalam keadaan heterozygous genotype, P besar, okay, ataupun dominant allele, dia akan fully express, okay, and then dia akan overpower the recessive allele. So that's why dalam keadaan heterozygous, okay, so the color of the flower will be purple. Sebab allele P besar ni adalah dominant kepada allele P kecil. So kalau dalam keadaan homozygous dominant ataupun P besar, so memang dia akan representkan the purple color lah. Okay, so that is for dominant allele. Tapi kalau untuk recessive allele, so recessive allele is an allele that only express the phenotype of character when the genes are homozygous. Maksudnya sesuatu karakter, okay, ataupun sesuatu trait akan menunjukkan recessive phenotype bila mana allele recessive tu mesti kena ada dua, ataupun kita panggil sebagai in homozygous. Maksudnya kalau kita ikutkan untuk recessive allele, it will be represent by small p. Okay, so untuk dapatkan phenotype yang recessive, so allele small p ni mesti kena ada dua. So dia akan jadilah P kecil. So that's why if you look at here, okay, small p is the recessive allele for white color. So if genotype of flower color is homozygous recessive, okay, awak tengok allele dia adalah P kecil. So means that the plant will have white flower color. So this is the difference between dominant allele and also recessive allele. So ingat, dominant allele dia akan represent oleh capital letter. Tapi kalau untuk recessive allele like this, dia akan represent by the small letter. Okay, so kalau kita tengok dekat sini contohnya, okay, the character, it refers to the heritable feature that varies among individuals. Y trait refers to the variant, each variant for a character. Okay, for the example, the character here is the flower color. So trait for flower color ada dua, sama ada purple ataupun white. So since purple color is the dominant phenotype, okay, so the allele which is dominant, okay, represent by capital P, P besar. Tapi kalau untuk white color, since white color tu adalah recessive phenotype, okay, so what are the allele that represent the recessive allele is small p. Okay, and then for the example, for the second character, upland high. Okay, so if you look at the trait, it has two traits. The first one tall, second short. So tall adalah dominant phenotype, short adalah recessive phenotype. Okay, so the allele, okay, that represent the dominant allele that represent tall, it is by capital T, T besar. And then T kecil ini dia akan represent recessive allele for short. So means that you have to differentiate between dominant and also recessive allele. Okay. Okay, so now we look at the next term, which are homozygous. So what is homozygous? It refers to having two identical allele for a given gene. Okay, so that's why for homozygous, we can divide either it is homozygous dominant or homozygous recessive. Maksudnya dalam keadaan homozygous, kedua-dua allele-nya mesti kena sama. Okay, so maksudnya kalau dia adalah homozygous dominant, okay, so its genotype will be P besar, P besar. Okay, kalau dia adalah homozygous recessive, so its genotype will be P kecil, P kecil. And then it will has it has a pair of identical dominant allele. So kalau dia ada pair of identical dominant allele, contohnya A besar, so yang ni kita panggil sebagai homozygous dominant. Kalau dia ada pair of identical recessive allele, okay, which is A kecil, okay, so yang ni kita panggil sebagai homozygous recessive. Okay, and then this pair of allele, okay, is at corresponding loci on homologous chromosome. So kalau kita ambil contoh dekat sini, so let's say this is the homologous chromosome. So at the specific loci here, okay, so dia akan ada allele P besar, ni pun P besar. So yang ni kita panggil sebagai homozygous dominant. Kalau pada locusnya dia ada P kecil, so ni kita panggil sebagai homozygous recessive. So that's why bila kita relatekan balik dengan konsep of the homologous chromosome, at the specific loci, it must contain specific genes. Kalau dekat sini ada genes that control the flower color, so maksudnya dia punya homologous chromosome pair pun mesti kena ada genes that control for flower color pada loci yang sama. Barulah kita consider dia sebagai homologous chromosome. Dia tak boleh dekat atas ni gene control flower color, dekat bawah ni gene that control the height of plant. So kalau macam tu bukan homologous chromosome. Okay, and then next, what is heterozygous? So heterozygous refers to it will have two different allele for a given gene. Contohnya dalam keadaan, okay, pair of allele dia adalah P besar, P kecil. So maksudnya dia ada dua allele yang berbeza. So kita tak panggil this one sebagai homozygous, tetapi kita panggil sebagai heterozygous. Okay, and then has a pair of non-identical allele at corresponding loci on homologous chromosome. So means that on its homologous chromosome like this, okay, maksudnya dekat specific loci, allele yang ada akan jadi P besar dan ni akan jadi P kecil. Okay, so this is the heterozygous. Okay, and then next, what is genotype? So genotype refers to the genetic makeup or set of allele for certain character of an organism. So senangnya genotype ni dia refer kepada pair of allele. Okay, so let's say macam yang kita dah discuss tadi, contohnya kalau capital P here, okay, it will represent dominant allele for purple color, and then small p represent recessive allele for white color. So dalam keadaan pair of allele-nya adalah P besar, so its genotype kita panggil sebagai homozygous dominant. Okay, kalau pair of allele ni adalah P besar P kecil like this. Okay, so this one we call as heterozygous, and another one kalau pair of allele nya adalah P kecil P kecil, so this one kita panggil sebagai homozygous recessive. Okay. And then next we look at the phenotype. Okay, so what is phenotype? It refers to the observable physical and physiological trait of an organism which determined by genetic makeup. So kita dah discuss berkaitan dengan genotype, which are it has homozygous dominant, heterozygous and also homozygous recessive. So means that from the genotype we can determine its phenotype. Okay, so for the first one, let's say for homozygous dominant, okay, so its phenotype will be purple. Because of what? Purple is the dominant phenotype. Why? The other one, heterozygous. Heterozygous also will show purple color. Because of what? Okay, since the dominant allele P here, okay, is dominant over the recessive allele, so that's why the color of the flower will be purple color. And then the last one, homozygous recessive. Since dia ada dua allele recessive here, maksudnya P kecil P kecil, okay, so genotype dia akan jadi homozygous recessive. So the color of the flower will be white color. So white color adalah recessive phenotype. Okay. And then for locus, actually this one pun saya dah discuss secara indirectly tadi. Okay, tapi kalau kita tengok dari segi dia punya full definition, it will refers to the specific place along the length of chromosome where a given gene is located ataupun position of gene on a chromosome. Okay, so like right here, okay. So awak akan nampak this is the pair of homologous chromosome. Okay, so pada homologous chromosome ni dia akan ada locus. So for the example here refers to the locus for flower color gene. Contohnya pada first chromosome here, okay, dekat locusnya ada P besar. Okay, while dekat second chromosome here dia punya locus adalah P kecil. Okay, so genotype dia akan jadi P besar P kecil lah. Means that is heterozygous. Okay, so as a conclusion, kalau kita tengok for this example here, so let's say kalau trait ni adalah kalau dia punya characteristic adalah height of plant, okay, so its trait will be either dia adalah tall ataupun short. Okay, so this one actually refers to the characteristic lah. Okay, so the trait is tall or short. Okay, so it will represent by capital T. So capital T is the dominant allele for tall. Small t is the recessive allele for short. Okay, and then what is the genotype? So genotype, let's say kalau dia ada T besar like this, so genotype dia akan jadi homozygous dominant. T besar T kecil, it is heterozygous. T kecil it will be homozygous recessive. And then based on the phenotype for homozygous dominant and heterozygous, so it will shows dominant phenotype which is tall, while homozygous recessive it will show recessive phenotype which is short. Okay.